Welcome back. Four talented St. Lucian dancers will take the regional stage on Saturday, the 17th of July, in the inaugural virtual regional dance solo competition under the theme Dancing Together, Distances Apart. It is organized by the Department of Culture in Antigua and Barbuda. President of the National Dance Association, Barry George, speaks to St. Lucia's preparation.
The Regional Virtual Dance Solo Competition is a platform for dancers to showcase and explore their creative pedigree in order to remain relevant and express their talents. The competition is designed to provide dancers a safe space to compete on a regional stage. Dancers will compete in various dance genres including ballet, street jazz, hip-hop, Caribbean folk, modern and contemporary dance. President of the National Dance Association, Barry George, speaks about the mission of the competition and St. Lucia's representation.
This was one of the activities that was really meant to bridge the gap with dancers around the Caribbean islands, especially during COVID. I mean, we saw lots happen with the music industry and if the artists and so on, but the dance practitioners over the Caribbean felt, of course, something needed to happen. And this is how we are supporting Antigua and the other islands are doing this to showcase our talents during the COVID time. So of course we are pleased to be part of that dance competition, and of course we hope that St. Lucia our contestants from St. Lucia does make us very proud.
George anticipates that St. Lucia will represent well, but he is most excited about the relationships that have been formed as a result of the competition.
I think our team stands a very, very good chance. I think we have some really good, strong dancers. St. Lucia is known to have really good dancers from the Caribbean. But most of all, I think the outcome of this competition has brought us closer to the various islands. So now we are talking about networking, cultural exchanges, exchanging of talents and ideas and information. So at least when there is some form of normalcy, you will see more happening for the dancers in terms of regional exchange, traveling, and even scholarships and so on.
The competition will feature 10 territories with a total of 24 participants for a grand prize of US $1,500 for first place. St. Lucia's team comprises of Tanika John, Delzy Clark, Jamison Edward, and Anderson Larcher. Reporting for the Hot 7 Nightly News, I am Karim Nelson.
After 24 years of heartache and searching, a couple in China was reunited with their son who was abducted as a toddler outside their front gate. More in this BBC report.
This is the extraordinary story of the father in China who's been reunited with his son after a 24-year search that saw him travel more than 500,000 kilometres on a motorbike. And this is the moment his search came to an end. Guo Xinjun was reunited with his parents after a DNA test threw up a match. In 1997, he was just 2 years old and was taken from the doorway in front of the family's home. This image was taken early on in the search, and you can see his father, Guo Tang, holding up an image of his son. And he never gave up his search. Here he is riding his motorbike from town to town with two banners carrying his son's photo. Guo Tang broke bones, got through 10 motorbikes, slept under bridges, and begged for money after he'd spent his life savings in his quest to find his son. So remarkable and relentless were his efforts, a film was made of his story. This is the poster for its release in 2015. That brought a new level of fame for Mr. Guo, and he used it to help other parents to find their missing children in China. He helped reunite at least 7 families, but he couldn't find his own boy until now. Well, the Hong Kong film star Andy Lau starred in the film. He reportedly worked for free when playing Mr. Guo, and he said, "I feel extremely happy and inspired today because Brother Guo's son has been reunited with his parents after 24 years. I hope everyone can join me in condemning human trafficking." Well, Chinese police have released these images of the 2 suspects in the abduction of Mr. Guo's son. They said that after spotting him playing alone outside his home in Shandong province, the female suspect, identified only by her name Tang, grabbed him and took him to the bus station, where her partner, a Mr. Hu, was waiting. The couple then took an intercity coach to neighbouring Henan province and sold him there. Mr. Guo's son was reportedly found still living in the province. Now, though, the family is back together. Here's the BBC's Stephen McDonald in Beijing on how that came to pass.
A 26-year-old teacher walked into a room to meet the parents who hadn't seen him for 24 years. His mother was crying uncontrollably. Father, Gorgang Tang, he could barely speak. The police say they found the missing man using a DNA match, and that 2 people have already been arrested, accused of abducting the 2-year-old and selling him in 1997. Now, this is all part of a big campaign by the authorities here to use DNA to try and make as many breakthroughs as they can in all these missing person cases, because it's been such a huge problem. Already nearly 10,000 people have come forward for blood tests, and the authorities are saying as a result of this, they have found 2,609 missing children. They've arrested 372 suspects. In fact, one of those missing person cases, they're saying the person was missing for 61 years. But the extent of the child abduction, child trafficking problem in China is so huge that although they're having successes this year, the authorities in reuniting people with their families, there still remain tens of thousands of parents who don't know where their children are.
Well, child abduction has been a massive problem in China for many years. In 2015, the US State Department estimated that 20,000 children were being abducted each year in China. Chinese state media estimated it to be closer to 200,000 a year, but the police have rejected this higher figure. Many of the children are sold into adoption, with boys fetching more money. As in Chinese culture, they carry on the family name and provide financial support for elderly parents. Others are forced to beg and steal for criminal gangs. Very few of them are ever found.
Stay with us. The latest weather forecast is coming up after the break.